Usually there is nothing to take from Microsoft build for simple users like us. Almost 2.5 hours about clouds, database, AI and agents. But this year Microsoft head Satya Nadella also dumped some hardware. A new class of AI devices with a new operating system based on Android and even a quantum processor. That's already interesting to talk about. I watched the presentation, extracted all the juice, and now briefly in order about the main things that I personally found interesting. The company's main idea is unlimited intelligence in every home and on every desk.
Amazing.
Microsoft wants neural networks to run locally right on your device without going to the cloud for every token. And they started logically with the hardware itself. First Windows, the performance that's already at hand, and if we add up the NPU, the Neural Processing Unit, which is a specialized chip designed to run artificial intelligence, the graphics and the processing parts of your PC, we get a huge amount of calculating power that is not used at all. And Microsoft wants it to put it all at work. That's why they're expanding Microsoft ML, the layer between the software and the hardware. Before, developers had to manually fit all the AI functions to each chip. Now they do it at once, and then the system itself decides what to compute with the processor, the graphics card, or the neural accelerator. And it runs on any hardware, and all of this works on the device itself, in Outlook, PowerPoint, Teams, and not only in Microsoft apps, but on Adobe as well. They announced 2 local models that will be implemented into Windows out of the box and won't require internet. ION Instruct handles reasoning and ION Plan handles action. Together they make a full agent that does everything on the device by itself, without even picking on the cloud, which is
pretty insane.
One of the coolest things, Windows is coming to the NVIDIA DJX station. This is a data center in your home on which you can locally run a model with 1 trillion parameters. Microsoft say it's roughly the level of supercomputers that were once used to train the first version of GPT. What used to be a server room now fits under your desk. This is helped by the new NVFP4 format from NVIDIA and Microsoft. Thanks to it, a top model of a couple hundred billion parameters fits entirely into the memory of a home machine and runs even without internet or cloud. For those who don't need the hardware, there is Windows 365. This is a cloud Windows that runs on Microsoft servers and you can connect it from any device. The idea which Microsoft wants to realize is tokens per dollar per watt. That's it, how much useful work you squeeze out of every dollar and every watt. Azure today has more than 500 data centers in 80 regions around the world. And over the last 1.5 years, the growth of the capacity was insane. The flagship building is in Fairwater, Microsoft's first AI super factory, stretched across 2 regions, Georgia and Wisconsin. Constructed as continent-spanning super factories to feed the maximum numbers of graphic cards as dense as possible to reduce the network latency. Azure was the first in the world who brought up the newest NVIDIA Vera Rubin system, Microsoft's first own chip, Maya 200, which is already in the data centers. It gives plus 30% tokens per dollar versus the top graphics card today and will power Microsoft 365 Copilot. They also showed Cobalt 200, a processor tailored for agent workloads. Then a call from Taipei with Mr. Huang, the head of NVIDIA, on the line. He said it all started 3 years ago with their idea to build a new class of PC to be equally great for creators and for AI. That's how the RTX SPK came about. Jensen's main idea to transform personal computer to personal AI. And you can go out, drop your PC agent a message from your phone, do this specific task, and it will launch the necessary programs itself and work while you are away. I've said AI and agents a couple of times already, for those who somehow still don't know. This is a neural network that can not just answer questions, but execute tasks on its own without human involvement. Basically, Microsoft thought about it and decided that for agents, it wouldn't hurt to make up a new device. That's how Project Solara was born. A new chip-to-cloud platform based on Android created for AI agents. Microsoft's idea is that the computer of the future is not one piece of hardware, but a whole bunch of devices that your agent will move across. They showed 2 devices. The first is a desktop device in the spirit of Amazon Echo. You woke up, it recognizes you by face and gives you access to the agent and Microsoft 365 Copilot. The second is a portable badge on Qualcomm chip and with a fingerprint scanner. Scenarios is applying to retail, logistics and medicine. For example, a nurse keeps voice documentations with the camera, scans medications and checks the patient. But neither of them will be for sale. These all are samples for the partners. When this kind of device will be available to public, it's unknown. Next, Microsoft presented 7 new cloud models from their own MIA family. MIA Image 2 and lighter version Flash for image generation, which beats even Nano Banana 2. Transcribe 1.5 they say is the best model for transcribing audio to text. 43 languages, 5 times faster than competitors like Google and OpenAI. Voice 2 and Voice to Flash synthesize human speech with intonations and emotions in 15 languages. Microsoft also announced Frontier Tuning, a system that lets companies teach the MIA model for themselves on their own data. And unlike GPT, such a model stays only with you and your device. You're not rating shared intelligence that learns from everyone. And Microsoft also wants to develop a model for medicine, putting it not only knowledge from textbooks, but also from real medical practice. For this, Microsoft partnered up with Mayo, one of the best medical research centers in the world. For the final, Microsoft saved the most futuristic thing. They showed Microsoft Discovery, a platform for scientific discoveries where a team of AI agents will do research using the scientific method. In a shown example, the agents wrote a scientific paper and generated 80 new proteins for breaking down the plastic. Then sent the DNA examples to the real laboratory to grow those proteins in bacteria. And they finished quite beautifully with the announcement of Majorana 2. This is a next-generation quantum processor. In a couple of words, a quantum computer is a machine of totally different type of computers. A regular processor calculates strictly in sequence with zeros and ones. A quantum one can go through a huge number of variants at the same time. That's why tasks that would take simple computers thousands of years, in theory it could solve in a reasonable time complex tasks. For example, to create a new drug or material. There is one problem. It's terribly unstable. Its working cell, the qubit, holds its state for a very small fraction of a second, and then it gets disrupted and the calculations fails. And here's the evolution. A year ago, Microsoft showed the first such chip and claimed to have proven the existence of a special state of the matter that scientists predicted 100 years ago, but nobody had seen it in real life. If you're interested, Google Majorana fermions. So if a regular cell lives for a fraction of a second, Majorana's 2 cell holds the state for 20 seconds and sometimes up to a minute. That's 1,000 times longer than the first chip. And at the same time, it's all very compact. 1 million such cells fit on a chip smaller than a bank card. What does this mean for us? Nothing really at the moment, because a quantum computer won't appear in your home, won't speed up your games and won't replace your laptop. This is not a consumer thing, but a tool for science. But if such machines one day will work as they should, everyone wins in the end, because a quantum computer is good and precisely at those tasks that are ahead of our time. Calculate a new drug, come up with a material that doesn't exist in nature, chemistry and other tasks that would take regular computer thousands of years. So this video wasn't about a little gadget in your pocket, but about the fact that in some time from now, some doctor might prescribe you a medicine selected by a quantum machine. And at the moment, it's just a foundation for the future, but distant. And the question, what's for us and what does it all mean? The general conclusion is that neural networks are moving from clouds right up in your device and doing everything locally. It's more private and faster. And here are the first steps. The Surface Laptop Ultra and other Ultrabooks and laptops from third-party manufacturers will appear just this autumn already. And all of this isn't just a promise. Then in just a few years, AI will transform from a trendy toy and bubble that might explode anytime into a truly invisible assistant that helps you handle some routine tasks and does the boring job. And it's very much something I want to believe in, and hopefully the RAM prices will go finally down.
By the way, have you seen the SSD prices?